Hey coders, and welcome to this video. And in this video we're going to be creating this animation in which we can create our own polygons by clicking it, and if you single click on the window it adds a side to the polygon, and if you double click it, it completes the polygon. And if you press the R key on your keyboard, it resets the window, it resets the whole thing, and you can start over. Then you can do it again like this. If you double click it, it completes the shape and then gives a fill of a grayish fill. So this is what we're going to create in our today's video. So let's just get started. So I'm going to create a new sketch, and by the way, this is not a beginner's tutorial. So if you don't know the beginner steps in processing, I have a playlist in which you can learn all the beginner steps, and this is a little more I wouldn't say advanced, but a little intermediate kind of step. So if you don't know the beginner steps, then just go to the playlist and watch the beginner's guide to processing. So having said that, let's just start coding. So first of all, I'm going to create the setup function. So let's just quickly create the setup function, and in our setup function let's just set the size of our window. So I'm going to set the size to 800 by 800, which I usually do because this just suits all my applications. And next we're going to create the draw function. So in this application, the most important thing is a list of vectors. So a vector is basically the x and y coordinates all stacked up into a single data. So the most important thing is a variable, an array of vectors that keeps track of all the points. So that is what we're going to create first. So let's just create an array list of vectors. So p vector, that is a built-in data type in processing, and I'm going to name it points. So this is going to be a vector, and then let's just initialize the points inside of the setup function. It's going to be a new array list, and this is how we do it. And then inside of our draw functions there are a few things. So first of all, let's just set up the background color. So I'm going to set it as white. Then let's set the stroke. So I'm just going to set the stroke to 0 in contrast to the white background. And then let's also give it a width. So give it a width or a weight to the stroke. So let's just set our stroke weight as 5. So the basic step is to create an array list, and then an array list of points, and then just make a polygon out of all those points. So for that we need the function begin shape, which is a built-in function in processing that helps you create custom shapes and polygons in processing. So and after that then we need to close the shape or end the shape. So I'm going to write end shape, and note that I'm not giving it the close variable as the argument, because we are not going to close it initially. We're going to close it once we double click it. So that's going to come later in the video, so let's just stick to it, and then let's keep on going. So inside of a loop, I need the loop because I need to go through all the points. So I need this loop, and so int equals 0, and then the I is less than points dot size. So this is not an array, it is an array list, so we need to use this size function to get the size of the points list. So by the way, right now, as there are no points inside of our array, so the size of a point is going to be 0, and then I plus plus inside of a loop. What we're going to do is we're going to, okay, so it's not point, it is point, so that's it. So inside of our loop we're going to loop through each point, and then we're going to set the vertex. So let's just set the vertex. So the vertex, the x is going to be the points dot get function or method that we can use to get a particular object inside of our array list. So points.get I.x, and then points.get I.y. So these are the points. So if you keep on adding points to the array list, so we can loop through all the points, and we can insert it inside of our vertex function, and that's how we get all the shape. So initially there are no points, so it's always going to return a blank window. So in order to add points to our array list, we need to click it on the window. So for that, I need the function mouse clicked. So that's going to trigger once we click on the window. So inside of our mouse click, every time we click the mouse over the window, we need to add a point. So points dot add, we need to add a new point to the array. So a new p vector, and the location is going to be the mouse x and mouse y. So so I think we're good to go now. Let's just test our application. So if we click it, you can see we've added a point, and if we go and click in it, you can see that we're gradually adding points. So, and also at the beginning I don't want any fill, so by default it doesn't have any fill, but we're going to give it no fill, and we want to close the shape. You can see so right now it's not closing, and we want our application to close the shape once we double click it. So for that we need a condition inside of our mouse click. So if it is a double click, we want to add the point, and then we want to close the shape. If it's a single click, we just want to add the point. So in order to determine if the click is a single click or a double click, we need something called a mouse event. So the mouse event contains a function named get click count, and this get click count is going to give us the number of counts. So if it is 2, then that means that it is a double click. So if it is a double click, then what we really want to do is we want to first of all set the fill of our shape. So the fill is going to be, let's just keep it a gray color, a gray shade for now, and then we want to close our shape. So by closing it means that we want to add the initial point, the point that was added at the beginning of our application, to be the last point as well. So let's just add points dot add, and we want to add a new p vector, and we want to add, okay, so and add the point. So we don't really need a new p vector, we just need to add points, if I can type. So points dot get 0. So this is going to be the first point. Now this is the point as 0 index, and we want to add it at the end as well, so that we have the close shape. So I think we're good to go. So let's just check it for a while. So if you run it, you can see we're adding sides to our polygons, and if we double click it, you can see we have completed the shape, and we have given the fill of a gray color as well. So now there's a little problem, because as you can see, if I go on clicking, now the points are getting added to the list. So I also want to be able to clear up the window once I press the R key on my keyboard. For that we need another function that is key pressed. So a key pressed is the function that is triggered once the window detects a key pressed. So, and if the key that we pressed, so if the key is an R, so if it is an R, then we want a window to get cleared up, and we want our array to get cleared up. So for that I'm going to use the points dot clear function that is going to clear all of about points from the array list, and also we want to set the fill to no fill because we don't want we don't want any sort of fill to begin with. So I think that's good to go. So let's just give it a run and let's just see. Okay, so here are points. You can add points. You can see by clicking it we can add points, and then if I double click it we have completed the shape, and if I press the R key you can see that we've cleared the background, we've cleared the window, and once again we can create our own shapes. So I think this is enough for this video, and I hope you've learned a new thing. I hope you have found this thing really interesting, and hopefully we'll come up with another such interesting videos in our next video. So till then, keep coding, keep learning, and as always, happy coding.